is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. I'm your host, Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at NBA legends giving their opinion on how good Kevin Garnett was. But before we dive into that, let's have a quick look at the sponsor of today's video. This video is brought to you by Manscaped, the global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Now, usually we only talk about the basketball on this channel, but Manscaped takes care of a different type of balls. You probably noticed that I didn't promote too many products on my show, simply because I don't want to promote stuff that I don't use. And Manscaped is just great. They offer the best tools and liquid formulations for the big three odor zones: your body, your butt, and yeah, obviously the balls. They recently hooked me up with their Performance Package 4.0, and I gotta say it's amazing. For example, the Lawnmower 4.0. I always had the problem that I could not use my former razor under the shower. But this right here is a waterproof trimmer with advanced skin-safe technology, which basically reduces nicks and cuts on the most sensitive regions of your body. Another cool thing is that the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer has a cordless charging system and these little LED lights on the front to show how much juice you got left. Also included in the Performance Package 4.0 kit are two amazing products you just gotta have: the Crop Preserve for ball deodorant and the Crop Reviver. Simply apply the Crop Preserver after your shower for all-day body odor protection. But we're not done yet. You also gotta check out the Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer. It's a wireless nose trimmer with the same skin-safe technology. For a limited time, you can get all of this plus 2 free gifts. Click on the link in the description box and get 20% off plus free shipping plus 2 gifts when you use my promo code at the checkout. Manscaped, always use the right tools for the job. Now the first player that we're going to take a look at is Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, who played with Kevin Garnett with the Boston Celtics. Obviously, he knows KG pretty well. Now let's hear what he has to say.
We were so bad the year before. We lost 18 games in a row. It's just like when he got there, you felt the presence. He changed the whole culture. It was just like, all right, this is serious now. It's like we went in the games the year before expecting to lose. Now we going from expecting to lose to look. We got Kevin Garnett over here. This guy's been MVP, All NBA. We talking about winning the championship now. So the whole culture changes, and it was just like a breath of fresh air because now you knew it was like, this is serious now. I mean, this guy's in the building. You had to be at your best with him around. Because I remember guys in practice, it was no more fooling around in practice. It was no more lollygagging or not going hard. It was just like the intensity just went up around the whole franchise. And I credit that to him because we know what type of intense competitor he is. And he didn't have to say it all the time, but just when you knew when he walked into the room, you're going to have to play as hard as he did.
Saves it to Garnett. 2-on-1, Garnett.
I saw a young kid come in with an unbelievable drive. And everything you challenged him on, he just fought so hard to get better at.
He was that 6'11" guy. He had style like a guard.
Showtime. Kevin Garnett has just electrified this arena.
He could do it all, man.
Garnett transformed a young franchise into a perennial playoff contender.
What made him go was his aggression, his competitiveness. It was just out of this world. I'll never forget there was one time we played him. He was waiting by the sideline where we got out of the timeout, and he was walking with me the entire way, nose to nose.
2004 was the pinnacle of his Timberwolves career, leading the team to the Western Conference Finals and winning league MVP. After 12 years in Minnesota, setting every major franchise record, he would move on to Boston in 2007, where he would add to his legacy.
He changes the culture the moment he walks into your franchise. He had already been an MVP and all-star. He had done everything except for win a title.
I always said you were my favorite player to watch.
You never disappoint me.
During his first season in Boston, he won Defensive Player of the Year and helped deliver banner number 17.
Right hand dunk, Garnett! The game's original monarchy has regained the throne.
Anything's possible!
Over his 21-year career, Garnett was a 15-time NBA All-Star, an Olympic champion.
This KG with the gold, baby. You know how we do.
A 9-time All-Defensive First-Team selection, and he ranks 9th on the NBA's all-time rebounds list. But what stands out above all was his unmatched will to win.
There's nobody in history that brought more passion and intensity to the NBA than Kevin Garnett.
And the next player that we're going to take a look at is Tim Duncan. Now, obviously, we know that Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett had this rivalry going on because it was the golden age of the power forwards when you had Chris Webber, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, and obviously KG. Now, let's listen to what he has to say.
And then, obviously, with the teams with any team KG was on was always a big game.
Let me, hey dog, listen. To KG used to like. He had more antics, dog, Tim. I don't know. Like, maybe because you guys were about the same size, like, he didn't do that shit to you. I don't know. But, like, he talked the most shit. And, like, I remember one time he hit me with, like, a bow, like, to see what I was going to do. Like, you know what I mean? Just trying to kind of, like, punk you a little bit. And so the next time I came down, I fired one right in his ribs. And he looked at me like, he left me alone after that. But, like, that's who he is, right? Like, that's what he tried to do.
He's done that a lot. He'll test you early, figure out who you want.
KG set the tone of like sacrificing, like from the jump. He took the back seat, like, because in my opinion, KG obviously was the best player on that team. That's just my opinion. But he put himself third to Paul and Ray. Doc, you remember it came to a point where we used to have to tell KG, hey, if you pass the ball out of the post again, it's going to be a problem. Go to work. Like, he was that unselfish to the point where it was like he set the tone. So it was like, if you got KG doing this, then everybody else pretty much got to fall in line.
I agree with that. Like, I felt that getting back there. And that is so true with KG, though. Like, I don't know how many, me and KG's arguments were over him not shooting. Most of the time, if you remember, Perk, I would call a timeout and yell at KG, say, I said move the ball. And he said, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I said, no, we're saying move it to you so you can shoot it, not so you can pass it. But Kevin was so unselfish as a player. There were many times that I had to give him a number before the game as far as you have to take this.
And y'all know that's all KG is. He's going to try to get in your head. You know, he's going to do everything he got to do before the game to get you psyched out, because that's half of the battle right there. And it's just his whole presence. Like, he gets up for it. And that's like, all right. You know, when at first I got there, I'm like, man, this dude crazy. But then just being there and knowing him, I'm like, all right. I was like, man, it's going to be a great year right here. And our first few practices, it was that starting five: Rondo, Paul, Ray, Perk, KG versus me, Big Baby, TA, Eddie House, and who was our other? I want to.
Posey still on that team? Posey was
no, I didn't play with Pose. Pose was going. I want to say it might have been Marquise Daniels, my man. Keith, and dog. So we in practice, and you know, KG's KG. Oh yeah, y'all know. Oh, hold up, dog. I talk too. You know, we going back and forth. And at the end of practice, you know, we all just sitting around, and Big Baby's like, man, I ain't never seen nobody go back and jump to KG like that before. Right. He's like, I'm glad you here. And I'm like, oh man, and we just all started cracking up.
So how good was Kevin Garnett in my opinion? Well, I honestly think that he was one of the best power forwards of all time. Even in the golden age of power forwards, when you had Tim Duncan, Chris Webber, Dirk Nowitzki, and KG, obviously, he was still sticking out because of his basketball IQ, his intensity, and obviously his passing gift and scoring ability. So KG, in my book, on the power forward position, probably in the top 5. All right, you guys, that was it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the notifications button, and I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.